Hello friends, welcome to Pro Coding with Rahul. Let's start with the basics of Python programming language. So here as you can see we have Python 3.8 and we have a lot of other things here, like we have the module docs, and then we have manuals, then we have the console, and then we have idle. Idle is basically the IDE that we use with Python. So I'll just click on idle and it will launch this console screen. See, as a language, Python is a very simple language. You can learn it very easily. So let's begin writing our first program in Python, which is the so-called hello world program. So I just type here print in the brackets, hello, how do you do? Again, I'll close this and I'll just do an enter. So it has printed the output to the console which says hello, how do you do? Now if you can see in the program, we have only used a single inverted comma and it works and prints the output to the console. So let's do it the other way. What if you want to print something like an apostrophe? So let's do this. Print, again in the brackets, how's it going on? It's amazing. So if you can see the last two lines, the last two words, they are in black, right? Why? Because we haven't used double quotes. So if I change this back to double quotes, and I'll have to close it with a double quote, and then I'll just do it enter. So how is it going on? It's amazing, right? This is what it does. Now this double quotes, what it does is it prints the apostrophes in the statement that you have just typed. Now let's go ahead and use triple quotes. Now how do you do that? 1 2 3, these are three inverted commas. This is a reference to your letter, and I'll do this and then we'll do enter, and it is too good to be true. Then I again input 3 inverted commas and then I'll do an enter. So as you can see in this statement, there are 2 to 3 things that we did. First thing is we did not use the print statement. Now the Python interpreter is a very intelligent interpreter. It interprets the variables, the declarations that you have to give intelligently. But that does not mean that you cannot declare any variables. You can do that obviously. But then it assumes all those variables pretty perfectly. So the 3 inverted commas that I have used are used to specify comments on multiple lines in the code. So it could be done like how I've shown you above, or you can do it like this as well. Print open curly braces, and this is a long story. I believe you would really love it. And I'll just close it and it's done. So again, you must have noticed this particular statement in which we have written as this is the reference to your letter, and you can see a forward slash. And when we ran this particular statement, you can see a slash n, the new line feed for the particular statement, which means that Python code has used this escape sequence and appended a slash n there. So now let us look at the comment out statement in Python, how we can comment out the code in Python. So hash is typically used as a comment out code in Python. So anything if you write after the hash, this is a code in Python. So this will be treated as a commented statement and it won't get executed in the Python code. So typically you use this forward slashes, double forward slashes in Java or many other programming languages which are C based to comment out the code, but in Python we use hash as the comment out syntax. Python language assumes stuff pretty accurately almost every time. So if you say you're defining a variable, for example, so I'll say like product is equal to cell phone and price is equal to 20,000, and if I use format function to print this like this, print, then this curly braces 0, again this, and cost rupees 1, I'll close this format, and then I'll just say, if you can see the string format functions, arguments and keywords as help here. So I'll say product and price here, and then I close the curly brace and then I do an enter. So it will print the statement like cell phone costs rupees 20,000. What have we done here? So the code here like 0 and 1, that specifies that these are the two arguments that we have to pass to the format function. And what values are we passing to this format function is product and price. So it is appending those values in this string as string. So do you get me? It appends the values as string. So even if we have specified an integer value here for the price of the cell phone, it's going to get considered here as 20,000 in string because we are using the format string function over here. Simple, isn't it? So format formats the string and automatically converts it. Starting Python 3.6 plus and above, we can use f strings as well. Now what is an f string and how do you use it? F strings are pretty straightforward again. So we can specify the same statement as print. Then for using f strings you have to specify f, open this in a bracket, and then we just add it as a product, costs rupees, price, and then close it. Oh, I forgot this, inverted comma, and then end, and you just execute it. So as you can see, cell phone cost rupees 20,000. Now f strings are pretty simple and straightforward in Python. You can just specify the value that you need to format as string inside the print statement and specify it in curly braces, and then it will automatically print the values. So now let's write a simple program with Python. We'll go to file and then we'll click on the new file. It will open idle, and in idle we can just copy paste some of the code, like a equals to 10, b equals to 20, c is equal to a into b, print c. We'll just save this program as, for example, I've created one folder called as works, and I'll save it as test2.py. The Python files, as you can see here, are saved typically with the .py extension. So we are going to save it with test2.py, and we are just saving it here. Now you can see that the file is named as test2.py. Now we'll have to run this file, and we're going to run it. It prints 200 as the output over here. So in this short program we specified a, b and c as integers, but here we don't see integer or int for specifying. So Python interpreter is smart enough to understand that a is an integer, b is an integer as well, and c is the product of these two integers that we have specified. If you observe the print statement over here, we have specified print and then in the curly braces as c. Okay, earlier to Python 3 we used to directly specify it here as c, but if you run this program now it will give an error. See that missing parenthesis in call, did you meant print c? Okay, so we'll have to specify c over here as this. So care must be taken that in Python 3 you cannot use the print statement without the curly braces. So again you can see it has printed the product, and it gives you the results here in as where the program is located, and the Python file which is saved with a .py extension. So isn't it easy? This is the first program that you've written for Python, and it's very easy. An example of the wrong indentation could be like this. I'm going to do a print statement over here. This is just an example. The above three statements that I've written, z, x and y, they are not proper, and I know that. So we are just going to have a look at how we can get an indentation error. So I'll just save this file and then I'll just run it. Run module F5. See, it says that unexpected indent is there, and you need to, it even takes you, or it notifies where that indentation problem is. So you need to rectify this kind of indentation errors. So it's better to every time stick to what the programming language does to your file and indent the statements properly. So I'm sure that you have enjoyed the session today. Thanks for watching.